Do you ever celebrate yourself? If not, you should. I have no doubt you are amazing. You are generous. You are accomplished. You are kind, caring, and thoughtful. But I bet if I were to ask you about yourself, you wouldn't offer up any of these things. I bet you would very humbly dismiss the good for the critical. We are all our own worst critic. A lot of the time, we don't see the good in ourselves, the positives we contribute, the challenges we've overcome, or the perseverance we possess. We may put ourselves down in an attempt to lift others up. We may negate our value in an attempt to fit in. Sometimes it's as if we are blind to all the good we bring into the world. But let's make a vow that stops now. As I celebrate my birthday this week, we're going to get a lesson in celebrating yourself. So put on your party hat and let's talk about it. Welcome back to another episode of Intentional Living with Courtney Meyers. I'm your host, the founder and creator of the Intentional Home and Living, Courtney Meyers, and today we are talking all about celebrating yourself. Now, I know to a lot of us, this may seem very foreign to celebrate yourself, but I think it's something we need to do more of. Because if you cannot celebrate yourself, who can? Everything in your life starts with you. It starts from within. We deserve to be celebrated, but we will not get what we deserve if we don't embody that ourselves, if we don't radiate it from within. This is something that came to me the other day when I was watching my son. He is 1.5 and he is so proud of himself. After he does anything, whether it's giving the dog a treat or building a tower of blocks, even eating a pretzel, he claps for himself. He smiles, he cheers, and he claps. And this is what I'm talking about when I say we need to celebrate ourselves. No accomplishment is ever too small for your child to celebrate. But as we get older, we lose a little bit of that. The fact is, as adults, we need to model a lot more of our children's behavior. They are actually one of the best teachers we could ever have, especially if you're wanting to live a more intentional, connected life. Our children are so connected to their spirit. They come into this world connected to their spirit. It's as they grow and it's as they get older and experience life more and as they have more influences from the outside world, whether it be from their parents or their peers, that their spirit gets dimmed down, that they kind of lose a little bit of that. But when you look at a really young child like my son, 1.5 years old, he is so connected to his spirit. He instinctively knows what he wants. He instinctively knows what he deserves. And he unapologetically goes there. He celebrates himself. My daughter did the exact same thing when she was little. Now that she's 3.5, she's a little bit more aware of everything that goes on around her. She's kind of an old soul. She's still extremely intuitive. She's extremely connected, but she has more self-awareness than my son, and she doesn't celebrate herself already as much as he does. And honestly, that's a little bit sad to me. It makes me want to model the behavior more. It makes me want to show them what it's like to celebrate ourselves. And I couldn't really think of a better time to start than this week. It's my birthday, so I am going to celebrate me. I am going to celebrate the last 41 years, everything I've experienced, everything I've gone through, all the challenges, trials, and tribulations I've overcome, all the big wins and small wins, because everything deserves to be celebrated. Everyone deserves to be celebrated. It's a really sad state of affairs if we cannot celebrate ourselves and the ones we love. Far too often, we do not celebrate the people around us. We fall into comparison, we fall into judgment, we fall into jealousy, and we don't lift others up. This may not even be intentional. Sometimes it may be as a way to protect others that we love, thinking that we have their best interest in mind. But that doesn't do anyone any good. What if we turn that concern around into celebration? I'm so proud of you for being so strong and powering through this hard time in your life. I'm so proud of you for taking that difficult step, whatever it may be. You are so amazing for putting yourself out there. Things like this. This is a little way we can celebrate other people, even if what other people are going through doesn't look like it's something to be celebrated, because everything deserves to be celebrated. Truly, everything you're going through in your life is something worthwhile, is a lesson, is something that will move and propel you forward to be the next best version of you. I hate to talk about trying to become the best version of yourself because I feel like that makes you feel like you're already not the best version of yourself. I think rather we should talk about becoming the next best version of ourselves, because the version of yourself right now is the best version of you. That is you. You don't have to be any better to celebrate yourself. You don't have to be any better to prove anything to anyone. You are at your best. Maybe you aren't eating your best. Maybe you aren't sleeping your best. Maybe you aren't performing your best. But I bet you are doing your best in whatever your scenario is to get through your day, to be a good person, to be a person who wants to do better. If you want to do better, then you are already working on becoming the best version of yourself. You are working on becoming the next best version of yourself. So I don't like to actually talk about being the best version of yourself. I think you are already the best version of yourself, and you need to celebrate yourself now. You need to celebrate yourself today. The more we celebrate ourselves, the better we become. The more we celebrate ourselves, the more we will have to celebrate. The more we celebrate ourselves, the higher we will raise our vibration, and the more other people will start to recognize and celebrate you. Remember, we get back what we put out there. You embody who you are, and the universe mirrors it back. So if you want to be celebrated, you need to celebrate yourself so that the universe will celebrate you back in return. I know this might sound like a trite topic, but it is really important. Especially right now, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in the economy. There's a lot of talk about doom and destruction. There's a lot going on planetarily. And that is something I truly want to learn more about, astrology and all the different planetary alignments, because I think it wreaks havoc on us. I've experienced it myself. I had a panic attack the other day. I've never had a panic attack. When I talked to my mentor about it, she said that multiple people she had talked to in the last week had panic attacks, car accidents, breakdowns, whatever, because of the planetary changes happening. So that is something I definitely am going to be exploring, and we will probably talk about on this podcast. But bringing it back to topic today, to help elevate the world, to help elevate what's going on around us, to bring a little bit more positivity and light into this massive upheaval that we're seeing in the world, we need to start with ourselves. We need to start small, and we need to start within. And that's why celebrating yourself is such a powerful tool. It's not just to say, wow, I'm amazing. It's to help you radiate a better vibe out into the world. The more people that can bring a positive celebratory energy to the space, the more we can help lift everyone else around us, and it becomes a ripple effect. If I can celebrate myself and be in a great state of mind, someone else in my life may see it, and they may take it to their friends or their family, and so on and so forth. And the more that spreads, the more contagious it will become, and the more everything will feel lighter and uplifted. We need to intentionally raise our consciousness. We need to intentionally take ourselves to that next level in order to find more to celebrate overall, as a whole. Because if we choose not to celebrate ourselves, all we are going to do is continue to find the negative, the critical, and we will fall into a downward spiral. You notice what you want to see out there. If you want to find something good, you're going to find something good. If you want to find the negative in a scenario, you are going to find the negative in the scenario. Literally, the universe gives you what you ask for. Your mind is trained to give you exactly what you tell it. So if you tell yourself that things are bad and things are going south, then you are going to see bad things going south. But if you switch your way of looking at everything, if you switch your way of how you want to see the world and how you want to see yourself as this amazing being with something to constantly celebrate, then you are going to see that in everything. I know this is something that's been talked about a lot by a lot of people, but if you have your eyes set on getting a brand new car, whatever that may be, let's say you want a brand new Tahoe, a brand new red Tahoe, what are you going to see? Every time you get in your car and go down the street, you are going to be training your mind to see brand new red Tahoes left and right. Well, the same thing happens when you want to celebrate yourself. If you train your mind to be one of celebration, to see the good, to see the positive in everything, you are going to see the good and positive every morning when you wake up, every day when you go about your day, every night before you go to sleep. Now, that doesn't mean that negative things aren't going to happen. That doesn't mean you aren't going to have challenges, but in every challenge, there is something to celebrate. It's a lesson. It's a chance to grow. And that in itself is celebratory. If you can get through it, then you have something to celebrate because you can celebrate getting through it. If all you have to celebrate today is I got out of bed on time without pushing snooze on my alarm, then by all means, throw yourself a parade. There's not a better way to raise your vibe. There's not a better way to bring good into your life. I have been taught by my mentor, one of the fastest ways, one of the best ways to connect to your spirit is to have fun and to laugh. And what do you do when you celebrate? You have fun and you laugh. Celebrating yourself and celebrating those around you is living spiritually, is connecting you to your spirit. It's an intentional way to be inspired in your life, to feel the breath of your spirit come out. The funny thing is, I know people who will celebrate their birthday for a full month. And up until actually this very moment recording this podcast, I have thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I've always thought, have your day and be done with it. Maybe that's because I have issues around my own birthday and about celebrating myself. And I just never understood this constant, yay me, it's my birthday month. But now talking about it, I think they're onto something. I think that's one of the most amazing things you can do for yourself. Give yourself a birthday month. Talk about a way to raise your vibe, to celebrate yourself for the full month, to celebrate the fact that you'd got another trip around the sun, to celebrate the fact that you are alive. I think it's quite genius. Now, my birthday might be this week. Maybe I should continue the celebration on, but I probably won't. The thing is you don't need a birthday to celebrate. Just find something small in your day to celebrate every day, because I bet you can. And I bet you will when you start looking for it. So that is my intention for you this week, is to give yourself a celebration. Throw yourself a birthday party. Throw yourself a celebratory dinner. Do something to celebrate you. No one else, you. Start with you. Oxygen mask first. And once you get comfortable celebrating you, let's take it out there. Let's expand. Maybe this should be a twofold intention of the week. Take this week and find something every day that you can celebrate about yourself. Throw yourself a party at the end of the week to celebrate it all. And the next week, move it on to someone else. Move it on to someone else in your life, whether that be your husband or your child or your mother or your sister or your brother or your cousin or your coworker. It doesn't matter. Go out there and celebrate someone else. Bring them balloons, bring them flowers, send them a text message or a card. Celebrate them just for being themselves. If you know someone that's going through a hard time, call them up, send them a message telling them how proud you are of them, how proud you are of them for staying strong and working through whatever they're going through. Because at the end of the day, we all need that support. And when someone else celebrates you, you're helping to lift them up and know that they can do it. And you're giving them a platform to stand on so that they can celebrate themselves and say, hey, you know what? I do have this. I've got this. I can do this. I am going to persevere. And the more they persevere, the more they will raise their vibe and it will expand. You never know when you could be that cheerleader for someone that they need. Maybe someone's having a horrible day, but you come in with a reason to celebrate them and it can turn that day around. So that is for sure my twofold intention of the week for the next 2 weeks. Celebrate yourself first and then spread that celebration onto someone else. I know for myself just how contagious someone wanting to celebrate you can be. My daughter is so excited that it is my birthday. She has woken up every day leading up to my birthday and will probably wake up every day for the next couple of weeks saying it's mommy's birthday. Let's make her a cake. Let's get her flowers. I want to give her a hug. She cannot want to celebrate me more. And it's truly the sweetest, cutest thing ever. And it is so uplifting. It is such a huge boost to the mood. Like I said, our kids are so smart. I do not think we give them enough credit. They are so pure and so connected, and they just know how to get there with their spirit and spread that joy. They know how to celebrate. They know that everything is a big deal. And I mean everything. You just being alive, it's a huge deal. And it is truly amazing. So with that, I am going to go continue to celebrate my birthday week. I hope you do the same and you find something to celebrate that's so amazing in your life. And I'll be celebrating you from afar, sending you good vibes and imaginary balloons. Thank you so much for listening to Intentional Living with Courtney Meyers this week. Be sure to give us a review, leave comments below, anything to help bring awareness to our intentional family. And make sure to follow us on YouTube, on social media, and at CourtneyMyers.com, where the intentional home and living lives. You will see soon our article in Authority Magazine, our top 5 tips for decluttering your life to live happier. You can even catch a sneak peek of those tips on YouTube. And don't forget to sign up with your email to get the free 5-step strategy guide. It breaks down how to declutter not only your home, but your emotions so that you can rise up and live happier. And if you want to go more in depth, by all means, reach out. I'm still running my spring birthday special up until March 31st. 41% off all intention setting sessions because I am 41. Yikes! Although, let's not say yikes. Let's celebrate that. I am 41. I have made it 41 years. That is crazy. So I'm going to take my 41-year-old booty out there and start celebrating. Oh, and I almost forgot. We will be turning the intentional home into an ebook soon. So keep your eye open for that. It will be the fastest way to get all of those tips out there that I compiled to turn your home into an intentional home, a place where your spirit can thrive and you can celebrate. So with that, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.